What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Bachelor Tea Party. I am Zuri Hall, and today we are joined, of course, by Ashley, Iaconetti, Haibon.
Hey.
And we have Kendall Long. Hi, Kendall.
Hey, hello.
So today we are going to be breaking down everything from the very first episode of Matt James's brand new season of The Bachelor. There's so much to get into, so let's do it. First off, let's go ahead and just kick things off with Matt, right? He has never been on TV before. He has not been a part of the Bachelor franchise up until this point. So for someone who is so new to this world, how do you guys think he did with that first night?
Oh my God, it was because he was new that he was so good.
Yeah.
I loved seeing the nerves. It was so endearing. And there was just like a common connection between him and the girls that I feel like nobody had the upper hand. Nobody was in their comfort zone. And it just felt so much more natural and real.
Kendall, would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we normally see a Bachelor and Bachelorette that are extremely confident, or they go in it and they know the deal, they know how it goes. And I liked that Matt came in almost as nervous as the girls were, and there was certain moments where you can see him break or show that vulnerability, and I think that was something that was really refreshing to see in the lead role. So I'm curious to see how he his first kiss, he went for it last night. So I was excited to see that he wasn't afraid to kiss on camera. So I'm excited to see like how he shows vulnerability later on.
It was funny because you could tell that vulnerability is going to be a theme of the season. That's what the sit down with his mom was about. And, you know, that's like what he's lacking, right? But it didn't seem like he was lacking that at all as far as like his conversations with the girls.
Right. We're going to get to the girls' entrances in just a little bit. But first, I want to know, what do you guys think about the fact that Matt gave the first impression rose to Abigail, who revealed to Matt that she's deaf? What did you think when that moment happened?
I really think that because she was so vulnerable and that was something that was really important to him, I think that she stood out and she just put herself out there. And it says a lot to be able to do that and to be confident. And I think to reward that vulnerability, giving her that rose and also having the connection. And I feel like it doesn't hold her back. It doesn't make her any different. It makes her just seem like that much more brave to put herself out there the first night. So I think she was so sweet, and I think she deserved it, full on.
And she got the kiss, right?
Yes. He went for it. I was like, yes.
You can tell how genuine that affection was by the way that he looked at her before that kiss. And there was like a cute little hesitation. Like you can see in his eyes when he was like, oh my gosh, I want to kiss this girl. Wow. And like a little bit of like a hesitation. And we don't normally get that from The Bachelor. And I loved it.
That nice change of pace. Are there any other ladies that stood out to you that you feel like, okay, she's going the distance, she's going to make it pretty far?
Brie. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God. Yes, same
time. Why?
Brie was she just seemed so poised, and so she has something solid about her. You know, she seems like she's like a rock of a person, and I just love how she carried herself.
Ditto. The other girls that I think stood out as far as their connection was Sarah and Brie.
Okay. Sarah and Brie. On another note, it's a history-making season. Obviously, we all know Matt being the first Black Bachelor. We actually talked with him about that, and he also filled us in on the advice that Rachel Lindsay gave to him about this experience. So check this out.
Well, Matt, how about just that intro? When I say becoming ABC's first Black Bachelor, what kind of pressure does that carry with it?
A lot, you know. I felt that first night, and it took having conversations with Chris and just realizing that I can only speak for myself. You know, my experience is my own, and when you have someone speak out who's white or Black, they speak for themselves. They don't speak for the entire race. But what you can do is you can represent yourself and how you were brought up in the right light, and that's what I do. And I support my community in various other ways. And yeah.
I remember talking to Rachel Lindsay during her season, Matt, and she said she felt like a little bit once she got into the program that she couldn't win either way. And in the end, she followed her heart, and we know now, Mary, do you feel like that?
Rachel was one of the best conversations I had before I got out there, you know.
What did she say?
She said to be unapologetically yourself. And that's what I was. And when the business of people pleasing is fleeting because it's a dead end road. You know, you can't please everybody. And as someone who is a people pleaser, that was hard for me to swallow. But once I realized that, it was liberating because I'm no longer concerned about what someone's going to think about my decision making if it's based on what I'm looking for, which are agnostic to race. It's kind, caring, compassionate, someone I can trust. And fortunate for me, that was represented across all races, and we saw a variety of that on the show.
Personally, love that. I love that response. I feel like at the end of the day, the pressure that comes with being the Bachelor or the Bachelorette period is enough. To be a person of color in this country is already a lot. So to have this added weight of, and now I have to please everyone on all sides is just impossible and you can't win. I also loved, Tayshia was really vocal about that too. And the fact that she was very adamant about the fact that she is not the first Black or the second Black Bachelorette. She's the first biracial one. And so it's that unapologetic nature, that desire to be true to who you are, regardless of who on whatever side gets ruffled by that I really admire for anyone who's in this position. So I love what he had to say.
I agree. I think that he's perfect. He just proves himself to be so much more perfect every time he speaks.
You're winning, Matt. Keep it going. You're doing great, sweetie. Next up, we've got the throwing shade segment. And this is where we, of course, break down the shadiest moments of the night. One word, super tease. It looks like there are going to be new girls, including Bachelor Nation's Heather Martin arriving this season. So what was your reaction when you saw that?
I love Heather. Yeah. She is so incredibly sweet. And she's someone that's never had a boyfriend. I think she's never been kissed before Colton. I think that was what was on with this when she was on the Colton season. And I know that she doesn't put herself out there unless it's someone that she really feels like there's potential with. And so I think that her being that vulnerable she's not the kind of person that's going to do it just to be on TV. She's the kind of person that's going to put herself out there because she really, really can see potential with someone. And I'm glad she's doing it. And I hope she's not bullied too much. There were a few tears, and so I'm kind of worried for her. Like my heart's like, no.
Yeah.
I completely agree with what she says about sweetness. She's definitely a rootable character in my book. I think I'm concerned for her for going in not on night one. It's like, why, if you felt this way about Matt, why didn't you go on night one the way that Amber and Becca did back during Ben's season? That's just the way to do it more drama free. So yeah, I'm a little worried about her when it comes to the drama, but I do think that it probably took the advice of Hannah B to go on. This is just like what I'm coming up with on my own, but Hannah B is one of her best friends, and Hannah is also very close friends with Matt. So I think that there was some sort of like, you get along really well with him, you should make this bold move.
There did seem to be a bit of tension between Kit, who arrived in a Bentley, and Victoria, who was rocking a tiara the entire night. So do we think that there might be some upcoming drama between the two of them?
Well, for sure. And just a little side note, Kit is the daughter of Cynthia Rowley, the designer.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
I will definitely be being Team Kit in this. I just feel like I like how she carries herself with such confidence. Like, she's not going to be bullied around, and she is going to tell it the way she feels it. And Victoria's already annoying me. I think Victoria's going to be she's going to be the kind of villain that, to me, there's like, it's not funny. It's not fun to watch. It's not like I love to hate type situation. I think she's just going to be straight annoying.
I was going to ask if you feel like they're teeing Victoria up for like a possible villain edit. Like, do we see this being who she is for the season?
Completely. Yeah, she went in, I think it almost feels like she went in like knowing she was going to be hated.
Yeah.
You know, she just was like, to every person that she could, she said something like a little poke at people. You know, you haven't had your time, like you should get your time. I'm like, it's not that easy. There's right. More girls on this season than there has. It's like the record of all the girls that have been on the season, right, with Matt James.
Wow.
So it's intimidating. Not only do you go into a room on the first night and you see so many gorgeous, beautiful women, but then you have to try to stand apart with that.
Yeah,
and
like angle in.
Yeah, and it's a lot to just be like, just go do it. You're like, no, I'm terrified. Like, I was petrified.
Yeah.
I am so glad you say that, honestly, Kendall, because when I watch, my anxiety skyrockets just because I'm like, I could not imagine like it's hard enough going on a first date with anyone and it's just the two of you. Now you have to see literally everyone else, and all the girls are beautiful, they're smart, they're intelligent, they've got their own things going on. I would never be able to like deal with seeing him like with all these other people, let alone start a conversation, like, and I have to like walk through a crowd of 20 other women to like get there. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit on this couch and like pray he sees me. My ass would be home on first day, like night one.
It's like, oh, it's my turn. It's like, oh no, it's my turn. Yeah.
Exactly.
The hardest thing is not comparing yourself, because it's not about comparing yourself against other women. It's about who's the right person for the bachelor or the bachelorette. Like that's what the goal is. So there's so many different forms of beautiful, so many different forms of, you know, who that bachelor bachelorette can see themselves with. So you can't take it personally. And so that was something that I held on to, you know, during that. And I hope a lot of the girls do that and don't compare themselves, because that's when the drama happens. So
no doubt. Speaking of drama and Victoria, do you feel like she'll stick around for a long time as this villain, or might she go home early because she did get the last rose?
I think she's gonna stick around the way that a traditional villain would stick around. So give her about 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay.
I don't know. I almost thought she wasn't going to get a rose this first episode, and I was surprised that she did. I almost feel like, I don't know. I think maybe she has 1 or 2 more episodes left. Like, I don't know if she's going to stay that long, because it's just so obvious. It's like so forward.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we will see if Victoria sticks around or goes, her and her tiara. But in the meantime, we are going to play a round of roses or thorns. First up, Katie's entrance, where she brought a not safe for work gift that she ended up carrying around the entire night. 1, 2, 3.
Rose.
Okay.
With qualifications. Rose for her, not for me. Like, I would never freaking do that. Takes quite a personality. And I give it a rose for perhaps the entrance, because it really is memorable. But I didn't love the way it stuck around all night long.
Okay, Kendall.
I agree. It stuck around a little bit longer, poking, you know, people on the shoulder with it. It might have been not the best move, but I liked that she was confident about it. I think it showed a lot about who she was and her humor. And again, what Ashley said, I wouldn't necessarily do that, but I feel like it showed a lot about her personality. And that's the whole point on the first night, is to show your personality. So kudos to her. You know, she held it the whole night and looked like it was pretty heavy. So.
Oh my God. Next up, we've got Kaylee showing up in lingerie and then having Matt pick her outfit. 1, 2, 3.
Rose.
Yeah.
I think I like the confidence that comes with something like that.
She looks great. Oh, she looks so great. Like, I mean, it's kind of like wearing a bathing suit, and we know that there's a lot of bathing suits during this, you know, season. So I just love the confidence, and Matt really loved it. Like, he was something that he really noticed, and so I liked that she went there. You know?
Yeah. I agree. You're right. It's funny. It's like not much different than a bathing suit.
Right.
And you know, and she let her little stint drop there. You know, she put on the dress, and then you didn't hear.
And that was it. Yeah, it was like just enough to me. It's not like she carried it through the night. This one was right after the entrances, but we're going to include it anyway. So the fact that Matt did a prayer with the ladies right after their entrances. 1, 2, 3.
Rose.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was such like a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
I was very affected by it, and I don't really know why. I was like,
really?
So
yeah.
I loved it. I just like it came so naturally from it.
Yeah. And I think that's a really good way to kind of like set an intention and kind of show who you are and how you want to show up as the Bachelor this entire season. It really set the stage.
Yeah. It was a very real moment. And I think we're going to be getting a lot of that from Matt, just because he hasn't been on the show before, and I think he's not afraid to break the script, to break the character of the classic Bachelor Bachelorette. So I liked that he said, I had so many other things I wanted to say, but I'm just going to do what speaks to me right now. And I think that said a lot about who he is as a person and what's really important to him. And there were girls that were teary-eyed. I mean, I think there could be a connection just from that, like that sparked feelings, you know. And so I think that was very impactful.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so this one isn't a rose or a thorn, but were there any other entrances that stuck out to you? Like anything that you loved, anything you hated, any girl you're like, oh my gosh, she's the one, or oh my God, can she please not be here next week?
As far as entrances go, I think MJ with the pizza, that was cute. I think the door was locked, so it made for a nice little organic moment. Then there was Kayla, and she came in with a truck, and she's from North Carolina. They had an immediate bonding moment there. I would put her pretty high up on my list of girls to watch out for too. And then it continued over into the cocktail party when she set up the trunk for them to like have a little North Carolina drink. It was a good move.
Yeah. Kendall, what about you?
I'm gonna say Chelsea's dress was an entrance in itself, because she came out and it was just I loved her dress. Like, her dress was my favorite of the entire night, and it definitely caught Matt's eye, and so that was an entrance that stood out to me, like out of most of the girls. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see who makes it, who takes it the distance. Kendall, Ashley, thank you so much. You guys, this wraps up this week's episode of Bachelor Tea Party. But in the meantime, make sure you check out our Facebook fan page, the Bachelor Tea Party Facebook page, and we will see you all next week. Bye.